today we're going to continue with our How to Do Things on Your Apple TV series by showing you what gaming is like on the Apple TV. So I'm going to be demoing one game today called Bowling, and it's really great because we're going to be using the Siri remote to play this awesome game. It's a multiplayer game, and it's really cool. So I've got my Siri remote here. I'm going to slide over on the Apple TV to my Games my Games folder, and the first game in there is called Strike. And this is the game that I'm going to be showing you today, Strike, Tenpin Bowling, and yeah, it's a really great game. I've hosted many a bowling party here in this apartment on the tech couch with this game. Ton of fun, and it comes from the App Store as a free download, and then it's a few more dollars for the full version, which I highly suggest, and that gets you all sorts of game modes, including multiplayer. So I'm just going to click in, and what we see here is this is the taste of the classic, which is what you get for free. I'm going to actually scroll over to play, and I'm just going to play 10 frames of the classic game, and I'm going to use this to show you how it all works. So I'm going to start out by clicking on here. We have a best score of 186, game rules, knock down as many pins as possible. This is just classic 10-pin bowling. But the basics are that we're going to use the trackpad with a scroll at the top to change our angle. So I'm going to angle myself straight. And scrolling near the bottom of the trackpad slides us along the lane. So I'm going to pick the middle, which is where you start at. And here's the way it works. I'm going to stand up to show you. It's a little bit dark on me, but you can see the remote. And basically what you do is you click near the bottom to pick up the ball, and you release to let go of the ball. And then while you're holding down, you're going to swing back and swing forward, and you'll see the ball swinging as you do that. There's a built-in accelerometer in this controller that feels how you're swinging the ball, so as I swing you could see that it's swinging with me, and the release truly needs to be released at the right time. If you release too early it won't work, you release too late it won't work, so you want to give it a good throw and send it. And when you're playing this game with friends, you can definitely, take it full out and tell them that that they have to do a proper bowling swing. So, you could have people line up, you could make a fake lane, and then you could come through and whoosh. And with the accelerometer in here, of course, if you don't put this thing completely straight, if you curve it a little bit, the ball will roll. So here's another one, and it's actually pretty hard to throw it straight. Takes a bit of practice because usually you're tending to curve it. So let me show you something a little bit different. I'm going to show you another kind of shot that's really great. So let's get on the controller here. So the way it's going to work basically on this time, actually I'll just finish this off. So we're going to start on a new frame, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to use a little bit of curve this time. So I'm going to come to the side here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sliding all the way over, and then I'm going to change my angle all the way here. So we've got this angle, we're kind of shooting the ball into the opposite gutter. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to spin the ball that way at the end of my throw, like on a real throw. I'm going to spin it like that, and I'm going to curve it back towards the center. This is kind of like a professional throw. So let's take this off. I'm going to show you the full motion. And if you do it really well, you can get a pretty good spin. I'm not so good at that one. That's one interesting kind of throw. So again, here's actually one of my favorite kind of throws. This is the way I like to throw it straight. And basically what I do is I pick up the ball normally, and I just send it straight up in the air like that. I find that's pretty much the only way I can get it completely straight. So here's my actual go-to throw. What I do is I start by bringing it all the way to the right of the lane, and then I'm going to obviously be curving it out the other way, but I actually have a little bit of a trick. So I start off by throwing it, by picking up the ball, And I actually throw this one overhand. So I'm going to come down here. I start like this, and I start with my hand sideways like that. This would be, you know, straight on would be like that. I start sideways, I pull it back as though I'm throwing, and at the very end I curve it out like that. Very easy curve to do. So it's swoosh. And when I do that motion, I actually usually get this pretty awesome curve. So I'm going to try to video that. That was a pretty light version of the curve. Hard to do while I'm filming, but I'm going to show you here. I'm going to show you on my next one. So here's my go-to throw. I come back to the last arrow on the right. I pick up the ball and I just send it overhand. And does the trick. And I have pretty good control, so usually if I have a couple pins left over like that, I know that I can just get them and finish off for the spare. So there you go. That's a couple different kinds of throws. You can see in the top corner you've got your scoring, so I'm on frame 6 and I just got a spare, but you know, I'm at 68 plus whatever I get for that. And that's the basics of the 10-pin bowling, of the shooting. And now I'm going to show you some more of the game features that they have. 2 to 4 players can play, so I'm going to pick 2 and show you what that's like. And basically what you have here is a normal game of 10-pin bowling. Same stuff as before. And send it down. So this is the first player. I'm going to try to finish off with the spare there. Got it. So first frame, got my spare. Now player 2 is up. So that was player 1, player 2. And if there were player 3 and 4, you'd be able to see their scores as well. So now I'm going to come up with player 2. Player 2 is an overhand kind of thrower. So we'll toss that. And so on. And you can play this game. You could have up to 4 friends. You pass the controller back and forth. It's really great. So we're going to exit back to the main menu again. And now I'm going to show you, there's a couple other mini games. So here's 30 frames of spares. Can you convert them all? So I'll start on the easy difficulty. That's all I got. This is a new feature. So it starts off with a single pin down the middle. Can you get it? And I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to go my normal straight throw. Got it. No problem. Frame 2 is a little different. There's 2 pins here, pin 1 and 2, and I'm going to try to get them both. Same thing. Straight throw slightly to the left. And I got it. And I'm going to show you one that misses now. So here's one. It's a gutter ball. I missed. And what we can see is I've got 4 balls left. So this is a game where you basically get 5 lives, 5 misses, and you got to get as many spares as you can before you lose those 5 misses. So I'll go back to the main menu. It looks like there's quite a lot of these. And there's different levels of difficulty once you pass the easy. So that's kind of like a fun mini game you could play with yourself, or you could challenge a friend to see who can get further in the mini game. Here's another one called Clear All Splits. And same idea, you get 5 balls, you got to hit each time, and you got to hit the split. So this one's like almost perfect for my overhand throw. So I'm going to do that, and I got it. And it's really the same idea, you just have a series of these challenges. And we're going to look at the next game. This one's called Kingpin. So I've tried this one out. This was also part of a recent update, which is pretty sweet. And basically you've got it, on this one you've got to take out the white pin but leave the red pin standing. So you got to hit the white, leave the red, and again you get the 5 attempts. So on this one I'm going to go with my straight shot, and let's see if I can take it down. So I took down the white pin, but I also took down the red pin, so that counts as a miss. Yeah, so I mean, they get harder and harder, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good challenge to have with a friend. So I'm going to go back to the main menu and see what other games we have. So take on the biggest lane of all time. Over 200 pins need topping. So this is another new feature that has come only recently. And basically what you got here is we start with 1 pin on this massive lane. So I'm going to send it straight down the middle if I can. And that was pretty easy. Frame 1, clear. Now I've got 3 pins. And now it's getting interesting because now we're going past the normal. So now I've got 15 pins, and I'm going to try to whip out a lot of force for this one. Didn't get them all, but really love to see what the next frame is like, so I'm going to try to get all these on my last ball here. Going to use my overhand throw. It's perfect location for that. And almost, but no, missed. So I'm done. I didn't get past the 15 frame mark, but it would be cool to keep going and see how it is. So done with that, and those are pretty much all the mini games that you have here. So that's the gist of the Lucky Pin bowling game. Played with the Siri remote with the built-in accelerometer and the trackpad. Really easy to play with friends. Only a few dollars to buy from the App Store. And you know, this is definitely one of my favorite games on the Apple TV. If you found this video interesting, I'd love to hear what you think. If you also play this game, I'd love to hear what you think. Love to hear what your high score is. And check out this playlist if you're interested in more games for the Apple TV or more basics on how it works and the different features you could use with it. Take it easy.